Good evening, haunters. Another holiday is upon us, Valentine's Day. Ah, Valentine's Day, a day for couples to show their love for each other, but sometimes love pulls at more than one heartstring. Enjoy.
Thank you for not standing me up. He smiled as he kissed her cheek. Are you kidding me? She sat down in a chair and he pushed it up to the table. That dance yesterday said that this man deserves a second chance because, wow. Hey, Darren sat down laughing. Shit, did you really just say that? I thought I did rather well. He rubbed his sore thighs. He hadn't danced in years and it showed. Come on, I wasn't that bad, was I? Iris stared silently at him, just shaking her head with visible amusement. He struggled not to smile back. All right. I was bad. But hopefully the dinner makes up for it. Well, she cleared her throat. Is anything like you dancing? She chuckled at the look on his face, barely able to compose herself as the waiter came. He still found it hard to believe that over a year later the two of them were married. You've gotten better, Iris whispered in his ear as they gracefully swayed in each other's arms, the music playing softly in the background. Of course, he whispered back, his heart swollen with love as they opened the first dance at their wedding. I couldn't embarrass you again, could I? I don't know. She smiled. I think I would have given you a second chance. He wondered how it was he had ever found such a wonderful woman. Right here? Darren moved the chair a little. Yes, that's good. 4 years later, they had bought a house and things were going smoothly. They had just moved into their two-story home and Darren got a new job constructing a building. He loved construction work, making a new building spring up from nothing. There was just something magical about getting your hands dirty. One day at work, he was called into his makeshift office by a supervisor. Hey, Jerry. Darren came into the outside trailer, closing the door behind him. What's going on? Darren! Just the man I wanted to see. Jerry gestured to the side, his face beaming. I want you to meet our benefactors, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel. Darren turned to greet the two, already knowing what was coming next. They came by to check on progress and get a tour of the place. Yep, exactly what he thought. Darren had to force a smile to stay on his face, hoping that these people weren't assholes like the last. He really wished Jerry stopped tossing people on him.
We were curious, Mr. Daniel noted immediately.
Thankfully not sounding suspicious at all. You're months ahead of schedule, so we want to take a tour and see it for ourselves. I understand, Darren chuckled. Jerry keeps us on our P's and Q's, so we're always hard at work. He paused and sent his supervisor a look, still irritated that touring duty was brushed off to him again. Though, if you want the real reason, we have another project. Make sure the two of them have a hard hat, Jerry interrupted immediately. Stay out of the more dangerous areas and try not to bore anyone. Darren bit back and grinned at the irritation rolling off the man. Serves him right for pawning off benefactors again. It took less than an hour to show them the progress of the building, with many of the floors already done and the rooms waiting for carpets. By the end of the tour, the two benefactors were suitably impressed by the quality of the project. Barring any catastrophes, we should finish up in a few months' time, he noted confidently. Well done, Mr.
Mrs. Daniel smiled as she took his hand.
You can just call me Darren, he assured. There's no need for formalities here. The two left the building minutes later, satisfied and surely with the good word to bring to others that would bring in more business. True to prediction, the project was finished within the next 6 months, the road ahead going as smooth as it possibly could. Darren would have been ecstatic about it if the contract they had been hoping to have would have come through, but that was life. Being in limbo was not something he was looking forward to, but Iris was, as always, understanding. She made enough to pull through any hard times, and his was more of an extravagant bonus when he received it. Do you want to put off going to Hawaii just in case? Darren questioned, looking around the cabinets with his brows furrowed. Iris stepped out of the shower and wrapped herself in a towel, an amused smile on her face. Hell no. Did you forget that I've got a promotion? We'll be able to cover it just fine. She kissed his cheek and budged him over, making his mood lighten a bit as he continued his search around her. What are you looking for? My cologne, he confessed sheepishly. She held up a bottle of one of the many colognes he wore. The one you got for my birthday that smells really damn good. Aventus or Green Irish Tweed? He shot her a blank look, making her sigh fondly. Would it kill you to read the bottles? Yes. His blunt reply made her chuckle. Have you checked the rest of the house? You left it in the bedroom last time. I don't even have time to look, do I? He questioned mournfully, glancing at the clock with spite. He had a small project lined up, and the last thing he needed to be was late. Iris handed him the cologne she had picked up, and he kissed her in thanks, hurrying off right after. She left the house after him, though by the time he returned she would be there first, the smell of dinner wafting through the house. He looked at the clock, confused as it was only 7:30, before he recalled her promotion. Work late, leave early, get paid more, he yelled out playfully, removing his boots at the door. Damn right! He tried to walk to the kitchen, but she immediately stopped him with a wooden spoon. He stopped, confused. Have you seen yourself? Iris wrinkled her nose. He looked down sheepishly. Shower first, then you can come in the kitchen, you filthy animal. Yes, bosh, he mocked, hurrying upstairs to do as told. As he showered, he heard the door to the bedroom open, the smell of perfume wafting through the air. That's White Diamond's perfume, right? Darren called out cheekily. See, I can remember names sometimes. Iris laughed softly at the words, but left soon after, leaving him to his shower. He joined her downstairs in minutes, lovingly wrapping his arms around her and sniffing her neck. He frowned. Iris kissed his cheek. You smell a million times better, Darren. Where's your White Diamond's perfume? He pouted. Did you just spray it upstairs and leave? Iris stopped stirring the noodles and looked up at him with confusion on her face. His pout deepened. Oh, I get it. Trying to say I'm funky, huh? I have no idea what you're talking about. She laughed. Sure you don't. He kissed her neck. But just FYI, the White Diamonds are my favorite on you. You can't even name your own. She teased, pushing him away. Now get the table set. The pasta will be done in a few minutes. The next few months passed in much the same way, with a few variations in between. Darren's company picked up another big contract from their previous benefactors, who were so impressed and pleased with their work they made a deal to have an exclusive contract with them. He was guaranteed a high-paying job for the next 2 years, at least. However, as the days passed, strange things began happening in the house. It started with his missing cologne, then he noticed some of his shoes missing, a favorite shirt, and items he swore were in another room being moved around the house. With every new issue that came up, things became strained between Iris and himself. Honestly, though he didn't want to believe it, he thought Iris was cheating on him. She always feigned confusion whenever he brought the subjects up, and got defensive whenever he pointed out things that she claimed she hadn't noticed, like the back window being open when he got home early, or coffee being made when he wasn't home and she didn't drink it.
She must have thought him foolish enough to believe that she wasn't taking advantage of her coming home early to spend time with another man, but he was about to put an end to it.
Without warning her, he decided to take his vacation from work early. Screw Hawaii. He wasn't exactly in the mood for spending time with her at the moment anyway. The next morning, he left the house and pretended to head to work, getting a cold shoulder from Iris and doing the same back. Honestly, he couldn't believe her gall. She had completely stopped speaking to him days ago and even spent her time sleeping in another room. He had never expected their relationship to go from such happiness to such misery. Taking his truck, he pulled away from the house and went to get breakfast at an eatery, waiting for an hour after she was supposed to be gone for work to return home. Instead of taking his truck, he walked back, wanting to be as sneaky as possible. Thankfully, her car wasn't in the drive, which left him to safely enter the house. His suspicions immediately confirmed. Upstairs, he could hear bath water running. So, she was moving her car and walking back to the house, just as he had done. Darren wished the confirmation didn't break his heart as much as it did. As quietly as he possibly could, Darren searched downstairs for more evidence, intending to confront her when she came out of the tub. The back window was cracked open? Check. A sniff revealed the Adventist cologne he was missing. He could barely hold in a bitter chuckle. Check. His things were already gone through. Her boyfriend was even nice enough to put the things he was going to steal on the kitchen table. Another cologne bottle, his nightshirt, his boxers. Was the guy a homeless bum? Pissed, Darren whipped out his phone, making sure to record everything for the courts. He was definitely getting the divorce after this. The more he walked through the house, the more furious he became, eventually leading him to checking the premises for the man who was surely still there. He searched the entire house, getting louder and more agitated the further along he went, before he finally ended his steps in front of the bathroom door. Iris? He called out furiously, twisting the doorknob that was unsurprisingly locked. Damn it, woman, you get your ass out of there and come talk to me right now. Iris didn't say a word. Iris, I know you're in there. I can smell your perfume. He had half a mind to break the door down, but the last thing he needed to do was incriminate himself on camera. Is he in there with you? Huh, Iris? He banged on the door, but she still said nothing, draining the water from the tub without a word to him. Give me a moment, honey, she whispered through the door, his guts twisted with rage. I'll be downstairs, Iris, he snapped, banging on the door one last time. Pack your shit. Less than a minute later found him pacing in the foyer, his heart thudding uncomfortably as he waited for her to come out of the bathroom. He didn't want to see another man coming out of the bathroom with her. Was honestly afraid of what he would do if he saw it, but she was definitely going to be leaving out with him. The thought had no sooner crossed his mind when he heard keys rattle at the front door. Pausing with surprise, he quickly took out his phone to record again, sure that it was the other man, and was more than a little surprised when the door opened to reveal Iris, who stopped upon seeing him, her face falling. I knew it! She cried out immediately, tossing the keys at him. He was barely able to dodge it, shock coursing through his bones. But wasn't she just... I knew you were cheating on me, you lying bastard! But the bath, he stated dumbly, too confused to understand. Don't you play dumb with me, you asshole! Iris snarled, smacking the phone out of his limp hand. You thought I wouldn't notice? Underwear that's not mine's in the drawers, blonde hairs in my hairbrush? She reached into her purse, throwing the items at the now verily confused Darren. You new bitch even tampered with my teeth. If the two of you think I'm not going to the police with this, what the hell are you talking about? Darren interrupted, confused and very furious. You're the one who's been cheating on me, you deceitful bitch. I thought I was with the man, but... He clenched his fists. You've been cheating on me with a woman? Iris looked at him with the rage and confusion on her face, making his anger spike further. Don't play dumb with me. My cologne missing, my clothes, not to mention she's upstairs in the fucking bathroom. Oh, that's just rich. Iris shoved him back. You bring your bitch here and try to pin it on me? Who are you yelling for, the neighbors? Try your act, you stupid bitch, Darren. The stairs creaked. The sound slid a pause between them as Iris's eyes caught sight of a figure in white. Her lips pursed as her eyes stung. A woman was standing on the stairs in a bathrobe. No, in her bathrobe, with a malicious smile on her face. Darren turned around, about to yell again when his face fell. Someone was standing there in his wife's robe. No, not someone. Mrs. Daniel? Darren's confusion rose to new heights as his wife sobbed beside him, clearly heartbroken and apparently just as in the dark about the situation as he was. The woman smiled at him, acting as though everything was as normal as it had ever been. "Hi, honey," she breathed with excitement. "I'm so glad you finally came home." "What in the fuck are you doing in my house?" Darren struggled to get the words out, his heart pounding in disbelief as he reached out a hand to Iris. "Call the police." Iris stared at him, her face warring with what she had believed becoming an even more serious situation. Was he playing with her and pretending? Seeming to read her thoughts, Darren snapped his head to her, his face serious. "I'm sorry for accusing you of cheating," he muttered, "and I swear I've never done it either. But we can talk about that once she's out of our house. Now please, call the police." "Dear, I waited so long for us to talk." Mrs. Daniel smiled. "Please don't ignore me." "You've been breaking into our house, haven't you?" Darren snarled. "Stealing our things? Trying to make me break up with my wife? Mrs. Daniel, why?" She took a step down the stairs, her smile ticking. "I don't want to argue with you," she stated softly, "and you know to call me Jocelyn. Now, I would appreciate it if you remove that trash from beside you, and then we can talk. The police will be here soon." Iris revealed, staring at the woman with disgust. This crazy bitch had almost ruined her marriage. "Thank fuck," Darren whispered, suddenly exhausted. He didn't even know what the hell was going on. "I'm so sorry about all of this, Iris." "Apologize for dinner." She reached out and squeezed his hand. A sigh was heard from the crazy woman. "Honey, if you keep doing stupid things like this, I'm going to get mad." "Let's just wait outside until the police come," Darren decided, squeezing her hand back. Mrs. Daniel sighed again. "Oh dear, I warned you." There was a loud click and the married couple looked up, dread and terror oozing down their spines as she revealed the gun from under her bathrobe. Without a moment's hesitation, she pointed the gun at Iris, her eyes furious. "Take out the trash." "No way!"
Iris! Oh, too bad. A canceled trip to Hawaii led to a canceled lease on life. Until next time.